Alright, we're back with the Dash fam. It was like an accident or something up here close to Maras, and this shit was going 33, so I decided to stay on and just creep. Like, it's all off on the shoulder, and this is all just gawker action here. Oh, he's kind of off on the right lane. Why did that motherfucker couldn't have pulled over a couple feet? Holy shit, he's got to slow the whole goddamn freeway down because of that shit. I like 65, but this new tire wobble makes me not like it. I'll like it again once I get a new tire. Come up to Cajun Cafe tonight, motherfucker. Just get your ass up there.
Trump is clearly looking to move on and to focus more on the support he's given.
We've had a good relationship. I was very good to Israel, better than any president's ever been.
Trump's also noted that during his administration, the U.S. recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moved the embassy there.
That's right. Well, did Trump specifically address what Harris had to say about Gaza?
Yeah, he was asked about her remarks by reporters in the room, and he got kind of personal. He called Harris a destroyer and radical leftist from California, all that before addressing what she had to say about her.
I think her remarks were disrespectful. They weren't very nice. Pertaining to Israel, I actually don't know how a person who's Jewish can vote for her.
I mean, it is worth noting that Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is Jewish, and look, it is in Trump's political interest to smooth out this relationship with Netanyahu. Trump has made support for Israel a key part of his campaign, and it was a big part of the Republican National Convention, with a lot of pro-Israel speakers, including the families of U.S. citizens held by the march.
Let me ask you, Franco, I mean, what is Netanyahu trying to get out of all of this? Like, is he trying to play the two presidential candidates off of each other?
I mean, he's certainly treading in some treacherous political waters. I mean, he has very much tied himself to the Republican Party. Aaron David Miller, he advised both Democratic and Republican presidents on the Middle East. Here's how he put it.
He needs Donald Trump, and he needs the Republican Party. He's got to hedge his bets. He has no idea who's going to win on November 5.
And by hedging his bets, he means that Netanyahu needs the Democrat support as well. From Biden right now, of course, and possibly Harris next year, especially given Israel's ongoing need for U.S. military assistance. And one more thing, this has been a very difficult issue for Democrats on the campaign trail. I mean, a lot of people, especially young and more progressive Democrats, have not been happy with Biden's support for the war effort. And Harris is kind of leaning into this. She's making it very clear that Israel has a right to defend itself, but is also saying that what is happening in Gaza, where thousands of civilians have died, is not acceptable. And that's where you see the clearest contrast between Harris and Trump on a conflict that is really resonating with voters.
That is NPR's Franco Ordonez. Thank you, Franco.
Thank you so much.
As Vice President Kamala Harris moves closer to the Democratic presidential nomination, some top Republicans are focusing their attacks on her race and gender. She is the highest-ranking woman ever to hold office in the U.S. and the first person of Black and South Asian heritage to be vice president. Now she could become the first female president. NPR's Sarah McCammon looks at how Harris's identity is shaping the campaign.
There's a consistent theme in recent days coming from a host of prominent Republicans.
100%. She was a DEI hire.
This trap they created for themselves of Kamala, the DEI hire.
I think she was a DEI hire, and I think that that's what we're seeing.
That was Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee on CNN, Trump ally Sebastian Gorka on Newsmax, and Wyoming Congresswoman Harriet Hageman in a clip posted by journalist Josh Rotenberg. On Fox Business, a guest repeated that idea and added a reference to a vulgar TikTok meme, which seemed to imply, without evidence, that she could somehow use sex to advance her career.
She's the original hot tour girl. That's the way she got where she is.
That's Alec Lace, host of a podcast called First Class Fatherhood. For Harry's supporters like Fatima Goss Graves, Harris of the National Women's Law Center, these crude stereotypes about powerful women are no surprise.
Rather than talking about their out-of-step views, they're trying to resort to old tactics of scaring people using racist and sexist tropes. And so it is totally predictable, but it is also ridiculous.
She says it's a sign Republicans are running scared.
These attacks just demonstrate how desperate they are.
Supporters also see Harris as well positioned to take on former President Trump on key issues, including abortion rights. Anjali Hancock is a political scientist at The Ohio State University and curator of the Kamala Harris Project.
There is very much this idea that they want to make sure that she's seen as not qualified.
It's not a new idea. In a Fox News clip from 2021 that's been circulating widely this week, J.D. Vance, now Trump's running mate, cast Harris this way.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC.
To be clear, Buttigieg is now a father, and Harris has 2 stepchildren, one of whom came to her defense this week. Hancock, the political scientist, says messages about Harris's gender may be aimed at an important group of swing voters.
Those kind of things are really designed to appeal to those suburban women voters who are more traditional in their values about what kind of life women lead.
Harris's supporters say these attacks may backfire for Republicans by galvanizing the Democratic base. And some conservatives agree it's not
big
the right
money now, huh,
message.
motherfucker?
Republican
Jesus
strategist
Christ.
Dina Bass-Williams was secretary for Ben Carson's 2016 presidential campaign.
Republicans do a much better job, and we win when we are talking about the failed Biden policy. So I don't think that it is appropriate to use that kind of language, and I also don't think it's effective.
In a memo this week, the National Republican Senatorial Committee advised campaigns to focus on policy, including Harris's role as the so-called border czar. It also encouraged candidates to label Harris as weird and focus on several traits, including the way she laughs. Sarah McCammon, NPR News.
One of the events in the Summer Olympics is taking place nearly 10,000 miles from Paris. Surfing kicks off Saturday in Tahiti. And unlike other events, the start time is flexible because it depends on the waves. Garrett McNamara is a professional big wave surfer who has spent a lot of time on the break that the Olympians will be surfing. Welcome to All Things Considered.